with a contract expiring soon and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. For an update on the negotiations between AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery, Ringside News noted that under Tony Khan's leadership, AEW has cultivated a significant partnership with Warner Bros. Discovery for programming. Khan has been actively involved in ensuring that AEW's content meets the standards set by Warner Bros. Discovery. This collaboration has fueled speculation about the potential for a media rights deal between the two entities. However, in light of Khan expressing disappointment with Warner Bros. Discovery's TV deal offer, there's now an update on the situation. Reports indicate that Zaslav and TNT Sports' Louis Silberwasser are keen to retain AEW on TNT and TBS. However, Khan himself is disappointed by the current offer on the table for his content. In response to the disappointed comment, Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio shared insights from AEW sources suggesting that Tony Khan was not disappointed, although an agreement has yet to be reached. Meltzer questioned the interpretation of the term disappointed. While acknowledging that no deal has been finalized, Meltzer suggested that the numbers he's heard wouldn't typically be considered disappointing. I was told that he wasn't disappointed at all, but at the same time, what does disappointed mean? It's just a word. I mean, in the sense of, you can say he hasn't signed, so it's not the offer he wanted, and you can say, well, that's disappointing. I mean, you can say that, but the numbers that I hear would not be the numbers that I would call disappointing. So, but I mean, as far as what happened, it's kind of one of those things where until the deal was done, I don't read too much into it because anything can happen. I mean, people can change their minds on both sides, and an offer can be made and an offer can be rescinded. That's happened many, many times before. Nothing is signed. That's that. The exclusivity period is coming up soon, so they could open it up and talk to other people and see what's going on there. As far as it going badly, right now, I would not call it badly. That would not be a term I would use at all. People who kind of know are somewhat excited about it, but at the end of the day, when the deal is announced, that'll be the story. Posting an old photo of himself, former WWE star Batista put up this image on Instagram, throwing it back to 16-year-old me, beach bod and all. Nice view. Hashtag Throwback Thursday. In footage caught by a fan during Raw, Bron Breakker's speed could be seen on display as he speared Ricochet and Dragunov. Revealing what Vince McMahon had planned for him in WWE prior to his release from the company, Nic Nemeth said on the Eyes Up Here podcast, I get to a point where I go, hey, now I'm not even coming in, getting an entrance. I'm not even tagging with Bob Roode. I'm not even making something. It's not even fun when someone pins me. I go, Vince, thanks for everything, 20-page email. This is the greatest job in the world. And then I aired out some dirty laundry about how I was mad just in the last couple of paragraphs, but the rest was very, very positive. For backstage details regarding the Casino Gauntlet match on the most recent episode of AEW Dynamite, Ringside News wrote that a highlight of the night was the Casino Gauntlet match, which determined the challenger for the AEW World title at Forbidden Door. Will Ospreay emerged victorious in the match, earning the opportunity to challenge Swerve Strickland for the World Heavyweight title next month. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, Tony Khan himself outlined and coached the bout, with assistance from QT Marshall, Colt Cabana, and Serpentico. The concept for the match was conceived by Khan in Jacksonville. AEW has also been pleased with the positive reception to the unique match style, leading to its return and potential inclusion in future events. In a video posted to Instagram by Kai Green, Roman Reigns could be seen working out. Responding to the idea of having a WrestleMania event take place in London, England, one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, Grayson Waller, told the Daily Star, "I'm not a political guy. I don't really pay attention to politics, especially in other countries. I presume this brother was struggling a little bit, so he was doing whatever he could to get re-elected. You know, I think the idea of WrestleMania in London's cool, but I just don't think it's something that I want to do that most of the wrestlers want to do. I've been to London. It's a depressing place, and I think WrestleMania in London would be a very depressing WrestleMania. We don't want that." So it's Sadiq, right? Well, I think you're an idiot, and WrestleMania in Australia is going to be much better. Of course, London's mayor, Sadiq Khan, had this to say regarding bringing Mania to the city. "London is a world leader, a major sports event, and has been at the heart of some of the most memorable sporting moments of the last few decades. From the Olympics, to the Lionesses winning the Euros at Wembley, to the Ashes at Lord's and the Oval, London is where it's at. If I'm re-elected on May 2nd, I'm determined to go even further and fully cement London's reputation as the undisputed sports capital of the world. I believe that London has the potential to host the first international WrestleMania. In the meantime, my message to anyone traveling to the Paris Olympics this summer is to include a visit to London in your itinerary, to enjoy all that our city has to offer." With Gunther ultimately winning the King of the Ring tournament by lastly defeating Randy Orton in Saudi Arabia, there was controversy because one of Orton's shoulders were not on the mat for the 3 count. Fightful Select has now reported that, in case anyone was wondering, we've confirmed within WWE that the spot on King of the Ring with Randy Orton's shoulder being up was not intentional. Triple H had previously said this regarding the ending to that match.
We're joined by the Chief Content Officer of WWE, Paul Triple H Levesque. Triple H, I know it's been a long night for you, so I do appreciate your time. I want to address some controversy at the conclusion of the King of the Ring tournament final between Gunther and Randy Orton. Now, as we all know, Gunther defeated Orton to become King of the Ring, but in reviewing the video footage, it appeared that Orton's shoulder might have been up. Do you have a comment on the situation?
So, live, I was out there. From my vantage point, it was very difficult to see. Was in the ring, handed the crown to Gunther. Very happy for him. Incredible night. What a performance they both put on. Coming back here and seeing it back, look, I saw exactly what you saw. I saw what everybody saw. I saw what everybody is talking about. Didn't really even seem controversial to me. It just seemed like Randy Orton's shoulder wasn't down. But I'm going to say this, the referee's decision is final. Gunther is your King of the Ring. That being said, especially after what I saw tonight, I certainly want to see that again. I think Randy Orton deserves to have another shot at that. And I think if I know anything about Gunther, he will want to have another shot at that, to take the controversy out, to take the asterisk off of the page where it says King of the Ring for him. I think he will want to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that he is better than Randy Orton. So I think having seen Randy back here, he's pretty banged up, both his knee and his back. I think it's going to be a moment or two before he is ready to step back into the ring with Gunther. But when he is, let's go.
providing more details into the sex trafficking lawsuit against WWE and Vince McMahon brought by former WWE employee Janelle Grant. Ringside News wrote that the accusations leveled by Janelle Grant against Vince McMahon have significantly tarnished his reputation as a business mogul. Allegations of sex trafficking and sexual abuse have cast a dark shadow over McMahon's legacy as a pivotal figure in the entertainment industry. In response to McMahon's recent memorandum seeking arbitration in the Grant vs. WWE et al. Case, Grant's legal team has issued a concise but pointed rebuttal. McMahon's motion to compel arbitration, which aims to challenge Grant's allegations of sexual abuse and coercion, prompted swift reaction from Grant's attorney, Ann Callis. When approached for comment, Callis simply referred to their original filing, indicating their confidence in the thorough presentation of their case. For any comment, see our original filing. We're confident the truth is laid out well there. According to Brandon Thurston on Twitter, an assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York has filed a notice of appearance in the Grant vs. WWE McMahon Laurinaitis case. The lawsuit is currently on hold pending a non-public investigation. Ann Callis, attorney for Janelle Grant, provided a new comment regarding the case as well, as she stated that Grant has given consent for a stay in her case against Vince McMahon. Ms. Grant has consented to a request by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York to stay her case against Mr. McMahon, WWE, and Mr. Laurinaitis, pursuant to a pending non-public investigation. We will cooperate with all appropriate next steps. In a further twist, WWE has joined McMahon in filing a motion to compel arbitration, signaling a concerted effort to resolve the dispute privately. McMahon's focus on repairing his tarnished image in the wake of the lawsuit underscores the gravity of the situation. As previously reported, federal authorities are investigating the sexual assault and sex trafficking allegations against Vince McMahon, and McMahon is said to be assisting the authorities as well. Regardless, we'll have to see how long the case will remain on hold. With TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace making a surprise appearance on NXT, she is now set to face Roxanne Perez on June 9th for the Battleground event. Talking about how this came together with WWE, Grace told Fightful, "I'm relieved that I got to do the surprise. That's awesome. Surprises in wrestling, I feel like it made it bigger. When no one expects it, I feel good. I feel excited. This is a huge thing for the wrestling world." They've been talking for, I want to say, a couple of months. They were just trying to figure out the right timing. Maybe 3 weeks ago, they had talked about wanting to use me, then it snowballed from there. I didn't know that I was doing the NXT appearances at first. Originally, they had asked if I would be available for Battleground. Oh, that's cool. Then it snowballed to, we want to reintroduce her. So I ended up doing the NXT appearances. WWE is very different from TNA in that they book travel last minute. I didn't hear anything until Sunday night. The travel lady messaged me, "We need you for NXT." I didn't want to bother anyone, but I didn't think it was happening anymore. That was crazy. That's not something in a positive light you would hear WWE fans chanting in a million years. They were so good about keeping it a secret. They had the doctors come to my hotel room to do my physical and blood work. They had me come late, like 8:30, maybe 30 minutes before the segment. They had a parking spot reserved and someone came out and ushered me to the back. They didn't even have me go down the hall. It was just the first door to the left as soon as you come in. They had a reserved sign. Ringside News added this in regards to details on Grace's earnings from WWE. According to a report by Fightful Select, Grace's NXT Battleground match is part of a contractual arrangement between her and NXT, ensuring a minimum of 3 appearances, including the 2 previously advertised matches and her recent surprise appearance. Grace's compensation for these appearances is said to be at least 6 figures. Roxanne Perez was genuinely surprised by the announcement. It was noted that Perez specifically requested not to be informed about her opponent beforehand, ensuring a reaction to seeing Jordynne Grace was completely genuine. It was even said that, according to a report by Fightful Select, Corey Brennan noted that the tapings were more secretive than usual, with incomplete rundowns listing Lita and Alexa Bliss as placeholders for Grace's appearance. During rehearsals, Lita's theme was used as a placeholder for the segment. NXT talent were pleasantly surprised to learn that Jordynne Grace will be wrestling on NXT next week. A former WWE superstar even hid Grace and Ethan Page in the garage before the show. Grace would also post a video of herself waiting to make her way to the NXT ring. Speaking of WWE, NXT, and TNA Wrestling working together for moments like the one previously mentioned, PW instead reported that the word backstage at the other night's WWE NXT was that Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace appearing that night and at Battleground on Sunday will not be the only WWE and TNA collaboration in the days ahead. The belief is that there will be some sort of NXT representation on future TNA events and programming as well. Going over a WWE Stars deal that is coming up, Ringside News wrote that Chad Gable turned heel last month on Monday Night Raw and has since been engaged in a feud with Sami Zayn. While he remains heavily featured on WWE television, it appears his contract could be expiring very soon. According to a report by Fightful Select, Chad Gable's WWE contract is set to expire late next week, with no new deal reached as of now. If Gable enters free agency, he is expected to attract significant interest from various wrestling promotions. WWE has expressed interest in re-signing him, with his contract expiring next Friday based on available information. Sources indicate that there will be a strong push from talent and other wrestling companies to vouch for Gable should he become available. The 38-year-old has been a prominent figure on WWE TV recently, leading Alpha Academy and undergoing a heel turn. He's also been a key contender in the Intercontinental title scene for several months and is a three-time WWE Tag Team Champion with different partners. In addition to wrestling promotions, several MMA companies have expressed interest in booking Gable if he becomes a free agent. Whether or not he ends up becoming a free agent is a different story.
I got a very special gift from my best friend George Clooney. Yes, George Clooney himself sent me my favorite Casamigos. Thank you, George, for my celebration win from Double or Nothing. Since I have to fly home tonight to Orlando, I gotta give it to the boys, because I actually drank a lot of their tequila on Sunday, so I want to give it back, pay it forward, and just celebrate with them. All right, Mr. Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed. Since I drank your tequila at Double or Nothing, George Clooney himself sent this to me to give to you.
No way.
To give to you.
George did that?
Good old George. So would you like to take a shot with me?
Sure. This is a giant.
Thank you, George. We love you. We love Casamigos.
I like how I'm making you do all the work here. I should.
And you gotta awaken the spirits of what I learned about tequila.
You gotta shake it.
Yeah, there's spirits in it. It smells so good.
Hey,
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for the record, I did make eye contact. I just want to say that.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you, George.
And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.